So guys, as of today, the classic map Wake Island has returned to Battlefield 5, and so far, it looks like most people seem to like it. But the real question is though, is it actually good enough to make up for the drama that's dominated the Battlefield 5 community this week? Well guys, this is BillyEatWorld again, and let's find out. Alright guys, welcome to the video, and look, to get started, let's just acknowledge that if you're a Battlefield veteran, well, this is a pretty cool moment for BF5, right? And well, if you're not, well, just to bring you up to speed, Wake Island is actually one of the classic locations that we first got to play back in the original Battlefield game, Battlefield 1942, and it's a map that's been reimagined multiple times in Battlefield games since then. And when I say reimagined, well, that's definitely what this is. It's not a remake. I mean, the rough overall layout is similar to 1942, but that's really about it. I mean, there are a lot of Battlefield 1942-esque elements, like, for example, the vehicles that spawn on the objectives, but in this version it is a lot busier. There's a lot more cover to hide behind, and the verticality is a lot more pronounced as well. But in saying that though, the first thing you are going to notice when you jump into this map is how open it feels compared to most other Battlefield 5 maps. I mean, there is the odd building and bunker to hide in, but for the most part you are going to be battling it out with the enemy at probably a lot longer ranges than you're used to. Not just that, but the fact that this map is a long thin horseshoe shape, well, that kind of makes flanking a little bit harder as well. You've really got to hope if you run along the beach or you go out wide in a boat that not many people are looking your way. Maybe you can get a spawn beacon down and take the flag from behind, but honestly that's actually probably easier said than done. Now, with that being said though, that's kind of half the appeal of this map. I mean, especially on Breakthrough, it's almost like a big outdoor operation metro. And that's because unlike most other Breakthrough maps, the double objectives are staggered on this one instead of side by side. So it's a lot easier to take them one at a time in order. And so what that means is that you basically have almost everyone on the two teams going head to head over one objective, and that can get kind of crazy. But in saying that though, it can also feel pretty grindy as well, especially considering you're going to be getting relentlessly bombed by planes who just go back and forth strafing the same area of the front. Now, on the other hand though, the other mode that's available for this map on the official rotation right now is Conquest, or should I say Conquest Assault. And basically the way that this one works is the US team starts over on the carriers and assaults by the landing craft, and the Japanese team starts on the island with all of the flags already capped. Now, obviously, the US team can choose to attack any of the flags, but often what ends up happening is kind of like a mini round of Breakthrough anyway, as the US establishes a foothold and moves around the map, capping the flags in order. So once again, if Breakthrough already feels pretty good, then this one feels pretty good as well, except obviously a bit more dynamic and a bit more slower paced, and I don't know, you might prefer that style of gameplay. So in a nutshell, yes, Wake Island is a good map, but obviously if you've been following the Battlefield conversation on social media lately, you'd know it's not as simple as that. If you haven't already heard, well, Community Games launched just a few days ago, which should have been another positive milestone for the game, but unfortunately that hasn't turned out to be the case. I actually didn't bother to make a dedicated video about it at the time because at the end of the day, there just wasn't a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, DICE had to scale back the initial release of Community Games, so that basically meant all you could really do was start a server and pick a rotation, which, as you can imagine, most people aren't really happy about. Not just that, but the 5.2 weapon rebalance controversy is still going on, and even though DICE have said they're working on some tweaks to make things a little bit better, they aren't looking at rolling the whole patch back. And so once again, unfortunately, as you can imagine, a lot of people aren't happy with this either, and they've decided to sit Wake out, and they're going to come back hopefully when DICE decides to either roll back the patch or the TTK feels a bit better. And I mean, that's a huge shame because as you can see in this video, if you play with the recon weapons or the medic carbines, you won't notice a change and you will have a ball on the new map. But I know that's just not going to happen for a lot of people, and so I think the moral of this story is DICE really need to start giving us more classic content like this, but most importantly, stop chopping and changing the format. This is Battlefield. This is what the fans want. We need more of this and less random changes to how the core mechanics work. But anyway, guys, that just about wraps up this quick update video. So as always, make sure you let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And of course, let me know what you think of the new version of Wake Island. Do you think it does BF 1942 justice, or do you think it's not as good? Let me know what you think down below. As always, though, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please feel free to check out the links in the description if you want to see any more of these videos. And also, don't forget you can find my Twitter and Discord links down there as well if you want to keep in touch. And as always, until next time, see you later, and have a good one.